Hey folks, how you doing? It's Barry Wilkinson here, and today we're in Mountain Blade Warband, the mod Calradia, Rebirth of Calradia, I think. Yeah, the main reason that we're in this is basically because my old computer blew up and we lost the XCOM saves. We could go back and redo it if you guys wanted to, but I mean, there's not too much point to all that. But yeah, this game we're going to go for a bit of a knight's build. Bit cliche maybe, but meh, why not? Which banner? Do wonder. The deer sort of looks a bit too Baratheon-y. Yeah, this looks nice. Yes, allow me to quit without saving. I'll put 2 in strength and 2 in agility. And Iron Flash, Power Strike, just the usual sort of stuff. Yeah, specking all the combat stuff. We'll probably be using a one-handed for most of it. Name. Alexander. Alexander Bracken. I mean, if you've know Game of Thrones or have read the books, you'll be able to see that is pretty much just straight up. Yeah, I know it's spelt wrong, but whatever. Yeah. What does he look like? What should a knight look like? Shrink that a little bit. Width. There's sunken eyes. Fairly wide open eyes. Eyebrows down. That looks good. Looks a bit menacing, but meh. Yeah. Bridge. Yep. There's size. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hair-wise. Yeah, that looks alright. It looks like a redhead Stalin, but whatever. Now where do we start? The Sultanate sort of seems a bit... yeah, I suppose. Okay. I do love the cinematic camera in Mountain Blade, it's just... ugh. You can pick this game up on Steam for, I think it's usually about $7 or $8 or something. It's a fairly old game, but it's pretty good. And until Bannerlord comes out, then this is probably the best we're going to get. I've always had brigands in the hills, blah blah blah. Basically, his brother's been kidnapped and you could rescue him for money in a very basic, boring story. We're just going to say yes to get the extra $100. I mean, we might eventually go back and do that, but right now, probably not. Money or your life. I'm not afraid of you lot. Fight me if you dare. Oh no. Now this is just a basic little exploit. You reboot the map and it cycles between one of 3. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I suppose this is best. Oh, good flat bit over there. But yeah, it's just because, yeah. If this was in Viking Conquest, it wouldn't be so much of a problem, because, there's pretty much no real benefit to having a horse in that DLC. From lowly beginnings. yeah, just gonna ride around in circles here for a little bit, just wait for the enemy to come down here. There's about 26, but they're looters. Yeah. These guys are pretty much the most low-level bandits in the whole game. They're usually fairly easy to wipe out, but in native they usually come in smaller groups than this 26. But it does kind of balance really well, because this mod is designed basically to make maintaining larger armies easier. So yeah. Oh wow. Blocked. Sneaky bugger. Ah, finally hit one. Aha! How about thee, ye lowly peasant? Now we're starting to get somewhere. And I missed. I know. I didn't miss. I just didn't kill him. Oh well. Aha! Well. Wow. I'm just swinging and missing everybody. Delivered 8 damage. That's wonderful. Yeah. Oh. But yeah, you folks want to see more of Mountain Blade, then just give it a like. You know, just the general cliche YouTuber stuff. Yeah. And if you guys want to go back and keep doing the XCOM Enemy Unknown stuff, then just leave a comment or something like that. I mean, we were only up to the second tutorial mission anyway, so yeah, we could go back to skip the tutorial. The only issue is we won't have the same characters. But, I mean, yeah. How is it I've got the lowest proficiency in crossbows and I'm hitting them every time? I got the highest proficiency in one-handeds and I'm missing them pretty much every time. Yeah. If we are going to do a Knights build, then this is going to be pretty good. I mean, I'll probably use a crossbow in sieges and stuff. Yeah, there's really not that much to say about this part. It's just trying to knock them down. It's a bit of a grind in the early game, but I mean, oh, here we go. Got a runner. Haha! And we leveled up. Cool. Do that later. Now, usually holding your sword out like that is pretty stupid because they see you coming and they block. You know what I mean? Meh. What's received 22 damage? Oof. Yeah. Anyway, I wonder if I should dismount. I might do that later on. Yeah, you guys probably stopped watching this part and finding me. My commentary is pretty boring, and this whole situation is just pretty straightforward. Rage screams. I kind of hope they keep that in Bannerlord. I mean, we'll all probably be long dead by the time it comes out, but whatever. Yeah, I'll dismount here. I mean, I did start with a fairly easy sort of start with the whole noble thing. So, I already get a shield and a sword to start with. I think on some of the other ones you start with like a smith. I think you start with a hammer. Oh look, we captured one. Yeah, no, I won't use that. Probably take. I'll take that. And I'll just take all the rest of the loot and just sell it later. Oh no! I can sell that later. And we leveled up again. We got strength and agility. Why not? I'll put one in. Yeah, put one in. And one in a trainer. That'll be good. Especially for later on when we start to get a bit of an army going. And just pour the rest in the crossbows. Now, Preven. Marketplace. What we got? We got tools. It's good that the game starts you off with some of them like that. Just something to sell just to get a bit of a head start. I mean, it's a pretty horrible grind otherwise. Now what we got? Oh, tempered bastard sword. I really want to buy that. Oh, I don't have enough money, so what can you do? Glaive. Never actually used glaives. The Saranid swords are usually pretty good to start with. Nord swords are... ugh. Yeah. Speaking of the Nords, I do wonder if I should do a Viking playthrough as well. Yeah. Heavy charger. What's that look like? Oh, that is nice. I want it. Can't get it. Ah! Yeah. Let's go for a walk around. Now, what I did to change the camera like that is I just pressed R. You know, it's the camera. It doesn't feel right playing it like this. Especially, it's really hard to sort of control both your horse and your weapons in this mode. But it does get a bit easier though. I mean, the more you practice. The only real reason you use first person is if you're using a lance. Pretty much one hit kills. We're in the tavern now. We could have gone through the town and found the entrance to the tavern. Here's the merchant. But all I'm doing is I'm just pressing tab and just sneaking in and out. But yeah, what we got? I don't know why they put that random mountain there, but anyway. So at the moment we're in the Kingdom of Praven, which is all this red area, all the way up there. It's basically your Western Europe analog with all your knights and castles and things like that. And stop moving. So yeah, there's a total of 6. And there's yeah, I think I might explain it with this a little bit easier. But yeah, Swadia, they got pretty good cavalry, but they come apart everywhere else. The Kurgs are really cool, but the problem is their troop tree is too linear. It doesn't diversify enough, so they're terrible in sieges. They're great in open field combat, but they're terrible. But yeah, they're basically a mix between the Mongols and a couple of... Their equipment is usually designed off a couple of dynasties of China. And we've got the Saranid Sultanate, pretty basic. They're basically a Middle East analog, or well, their namesake, it comes from Sassanid Persia, which was, I think, the last pre-Islamic dynasty of Persia. And to the south here, we've got the Rhodoks. They're basically your Northern Italy analog. They're crossbowmen. Their crossbowmen are legendary. They're great foot soldiers. I think the only wrong tab. The only one that's a little bit better for foot soldiers for melee combat is the Nords, but they are just beasts if you get a whole heap of Huskars, and it's just yeah, wow. yeah, it's just a little compass. And I don't think anyone actually cares much for the compass throughout most of the games. But yeah, it's there's the Rodox. They're fairly good. And here are the Nords. Oh wow. I do like these little art pieces that they do for them all. But yeah, it's ruled by King Ragnar. Very original. Yes. Oh, and this mod does also change the names a little bit. So it adds a little more depth, I think. Because originally it was the Nord Kingdom, Vaegir Kingdom, and the Swadian Kingdom. But they made it Jarldom, which I mean it doesn't do anything for the actual game. It just makes it feel a little more real world-ish. And then over here we've got the Vaegirs or Vaegirs. They're basically your Russia analog, Russia Eastern Europe type of thing. They're what are they called? The sharpshooters. They're pretty good. I mean, if you want to take a castle but you don't have any foot soldiers, you've got just cavalry, make sure you get the Vaegir archers and the Rodok crossbowmen, because they will just wreck everyone on the walls. Their knights are also pretty good. They're not as good as the Swadians, but they're pretty good. And I'm pretty sure that's about it. But yeah, we joined probably the hardest faction at the moment, because Swadia is just so big, and it shares a border with every single faction. The factions will only go to war with their neighbours, and unless there's a defensive pact involved. That requires a diplomacy mod. I mean, even then, they don't do much. They just... Yeah, we did level up, didn't we? Yes, we did. Okay. It's your money or your life.
Then, eh?
Fight me if you dare. Yeah, I'll charge him. Oh, what a map. Loving this. I look more like a bandit now. Yeah, well. And charge! Oh, wow. Oh, wow, just thinking about this now. And this in VR would be so awesome, and it would be so bloody terrifying. Oh, well. Ha! Oh, wow. Basically what they're doing now is just throwing rocks at me. It's annoying. And, what I'm doing, it's something that some people call orbiting, some people call circling, and other people call riding around in circles until the enemy eventually runs out of stuff to throw at you. So, I mean, it's just because the AI doesn't aim ahead of where you are, it aims for where you are at that point. So, if you're on foot, jeez, no, let's not do that. Because then you're just going to get pommeled, and you're going to get wrecked. Especially if you're low level with bad armor and stuff like that. But, yeah. The AI in the default Warband, it's pretty clunky. But I mean, for a game that came out in, 2010? It's not too bad. I mean, like in Conquest, I think they did change it a little bit, because you can still get hit by rocks and stuff when you're riding around. So as to whether they improve the AI or just make the rocks move a little more wildly. So, oh, you hit my hussy! How dare you! Ha! Yeah, I just ran him over. Grand Theft Auto medieval style. Ha! Blah. Now we're getting somewhere. That's 5 damage, didn't do anything. Ow. At least the sound effects for this are a little bit more realistic than Skyrim. I missed that game. Should play it again, but yeah. I'll get around to it eventually. Yeah, there's really not that much to say at this point. Because we're still just running around wrecking looters. No real benefit to it. Yeah. Well, at least they've pretty much run out of rocks now. It's not like Lords of Calradia. Because that was a pretty awesome mod. I mean, you could set up your custom noble troops. You could marry. You could have, I think it was up to 3 kids or something like that. Then they grow up to become companions for you. Oh, what a cinematic shot! Sorry, but the problem was that the looters they had this other class of unit. It was called a cut purse, and they'd just be throwing knives at you. And I think 3 out of the 4 weapon slots they had available was just throwing knives. It just took forever to get anywhere with it. It was fairly frustrating. Yeah, I mean, it was. You could sort of deal with that a bit if you had a like a pretty small basic level army, and then they updated it, and you just got flooded with high level bandits as soon as you started on the map, regardless of your start. And you think, well, 1, that's unrealistic, and 2, it's annoying. Oh well. Yeah, I suppose there were a few mods like that were really good at one point, and then they just, yeah. Yeah. I kind of wish that they sort of fused some of the better aspects of come on, hit him. Yes. They fused the better aspects of Lords of Calradia and what was it? Nova Aetus. Because that would be so good. I mean, being able to have kids, and you've got all your noble family, and you got all your noble troops and stuff, and then you could also just build a castle in the middle of nowhere. That would be awesome. I mean, oh well. I'll just take all this, can't take that. Should have put a point in the inventory management. Yeah, I think I'll do that now. Yeah, I'll put 1 more in strength. Oh, do I want to? Yeah. Yeah, inventory management. Why not? Let's put the... oh yeah, because I got low weapon master, that's why it's... yeah. Oh well. But anyway, that'll be all for the moment, and I will see you guys next time. As always, just leave a comment or a like or subscribe, whatever. Just, yeah. See you later.